Yeah, because
It's good. We're officially recording. Welcome to Friday. It is the last Friday of the month, which is so crazy that like 2 months are down for 2020. That's really weird when you look at it that way. But that also means that we are moving into March. We have a lot of fun and upcoming exciting things for you guys. So check out the monthly magazine if you have not, because it has so much good stuff. So much good stuff. All of our calls are right there listed. So if you don't know when they are, you go in there, you look at them, and you put them in your phone and set a reminder. Okay, good. Next, we are going to be making a small, you guys know we're always growing and transitioning and taking a step back. I'm so grateful to Susan for literally taking a step back and looking at our tribe. This month we've been trying to line up. We finally chatted yesterday. I said, hey, what do you see that we could work on, that we could make small changes on? Because I don't ever want to be stagnant and be like, well, this is working, so it's fine. Yeah, it's working, but I know we can improve. We're constantly growing. There are so many of us on this team that are just doing personal development, taking trainings, learning. So it was really good to chat with Susan and just take a look at Mind Body Soldier from an outsider's perspective and say, how can we make it better, really? So as far as our leader calls, Friday's leader calls, nothing, so we're not adding more calls, anything like that, but Friday's leader call, the last Friday of the month, we are gonna run it like we did last week. You know, last week when we just got to share and connect and hang out and like have that community feel, that's what we're gonna do the last Friday of every single month. So there's gonna be no leadership, it's just to hang out. You don't have to talk, you can talk. And it was so good last week to just be able to be like, okay, now I know what, for me, I'm selfish and I wanna know what's going on with all of you, but I don't have time to scroll Facebook. And if I do, I'm like, well, what are they going through? And it's like, I spend hours trying to figure out what's going on with you. I'd much rather, or I'm trying to text with you and talk to my kids and I forgot to text you back and I miss out. And yes, it's Open Mic Friday, the last Friday of the month. So come with a struggle, a success, what's working. My kid's been sucking and teething and it really is bothering me, but I need to tell someone and not feel like I'm complaining. I don't care, but we always want you to share one thing that is working for you, one good thing that you've learned or whatever. So that's going to be the last Friday of the month. Since we did it last week, we're going to start in March, that last Friday. Set your calendar. In addition, the last Friday of the month, the exec call, you guys know, you've probably seen it on Facebook. That's where we just get together and discuss Mind Body Soldier as a company, how we want to move forward. The last Friday of the month, that's going to be open to anybody. If you want to hop on, it's early. We're not changing the time to accommodate anybody. We all get up early. Michelle popped on there in the middle of the night one time. So like literally it's 5:45 on Friday mornings. But we're going to open up the last Friday of the month for, it's like an open exec call because you guys are all building. We want you to know what's going on, but when it gets to be 15 people and 15 ideas, it can't be short and sweet like we need it. And then in addition, if you're like, hey, I have this really good idea, can I pop on one? Ask. We'll always say yes, okay? We'll always, yeah, hop on. We just need to know ahead of time so we can have a strategic plan. Yes, Susan, I'm gonna get you on one. It will be a Hanukkah miracle. So those are, again, just the small tweaks. The last Friday of the month, put that in your calendar now or else you forget. And you'll be like, oh dang, I have to wait till next month. And you really don't, but let's just try and keep an organized focus so that we can accomplish as much as possible. What else? Let's see. The leader retreat, not the leader retreat. This is me parenting and trying to function with my brain. Hey, Liz. So April spring retreat, women's retreat, you guys. I am so overwhelmed by what God is doing through it. It is so freaking cool. Like, I don't know, people are coming out of the woodworks. Want some water? So if you're not going, guys, don't forget, you can still invite. Like, I know it feels weird to invite to something you're not going to, but all you have to do is share about it. You guys, that retreat is going to get everybody, it's going to fill people mind, body, soul. It is going to transform people's mindset. It is going to get them to where they need to be to pursue their health and fitness journey, where they need to be to fulfill their purpose in life, where they need to be maybe to start coaching with us. Give them that opportunity. Don't take that invite away from them just because you maybe can't go. And I'm saying that, and anybody that does go with you guys also earn a commission off of. You're building your business, you're building these people up. It is another thing to just share about. You don't have to be actively inviting if you don't want to, but there's no reason to not share about it because you might have a follower in Florida that can toot their horn over there for the weekend pass. You know, if money is an issue, come and talk to us. We're working with the retreat center to try and get They said they would do weekend rates. We don't know what they are, but we lowered our price for people that are just coming for the weekend. If you have someone that wants to come over for a day, we're even doing a day pass. We want people there because we know it's going to be life-changing. And I understand that not all of you can make it this time, and I get that. But don't take it away from someone who needs it just because you can't come, because you know we will pour into them on your behalf anyways. It's not like we're going to pour into them and then they're going to become our bestie and our coach and our client. No, we're pouring into them on your behalf. So let us do that for you, even if you can't go. Because really, we are a team. We are a family that works for each other. So we can really pursue God's purpose for all of us. So retreat, small tweaks for the Fridays. In our challenge, I know 10 rounds is coming out. Real quick, I did want to talk about this. It's coming out March, beginning of March. I just looked at the dates this morning, but I can't remember for the life of me. I know April 6th it launches for customer sale. Our challenge group for it, and this is why we dated it a couple weeks later, our test group is going to be April 20th. Why? Because it's the day after the retreat wraps up. So everybody coming off of that, if they want to jump into it, can. Also, it gives our customers plenty of time to purchase. And I know you're like, well, that's far away, but it's not. You should be talking about it now, me included, should be talking about it now, planning. They're going to release workouts early to coaches, you know, like they usually do. It's either March 13 or 16. You guys can pop it in the chat if you know the specific date, so I'm not screwing it up. But now's the time to start talking about it. If you have failed hard with bar, don't worry, I have too. Louise and I have decided to X out week 6, but not quit. We've started week six multiple times. Monday, we're starting week 7 because we're finishing this program, because normally her and I are really good at just being like, screw this, we're done with it. Often, we're determined to finish. So if you want to finish hard with us, just join week 7 and week 8, and let's just roll into the next program. I'm also going to be adding lift in and running.
And we may actually just finish it all in one day.
Yeah, I was thinking we would have a bar-a-thon. I'm not kidding. I just want to be done. I'm going to do a bar-a-thon and just exhaust myself.
Like 8 hours.
But I haven't finished a program in so long, and I told myself I'd finish this, and I'm tired of hearing myself speak and not doing what I say. So we're going to finish, and we're going to wrap it up in the next couple weeks or in one day. Bye, Nikita. Love you. I can't see the full chat because otherwise I get distracted, but I do see she's heading out. So that's all I have for updates. Louise, I saw you on mute.
I was just going to say well done to Bridget, because today is her last day of bar.
Oh, my God,
well
Bridget.
Done, Bridget.
Woo! Freaking awesome. And Bridget, I will say, oh, yeah, enter the banner challenge. Go to the fitness page. There's so much good stuff, you guys. There's so much good stuff going on, and all of it's in the monthly magazine. Oh
yeah, we need to finish bar so we can enter the challenge.
Yeah, so
that's all I need. I need something like external to be like, this is why I need to do it. So that's gonna be it. Thank you.
Yeah, marathon this weekend. Oh my God, I would do it at baseball. That would be hilarious and slightly embarrassing, but I do it anyways because I don't care. La la la. There is one more thing. So the magazine that everybody I think has had a hand in by this chance, and by this time, and if you haven't, don't worry, you're on the list of people to ask to help. It is primarily coach focused, right? So Susan brought to our attention, and I have felt this way as well, that I really want to be able to send it to my clients, but not have the coach focus information in there, right? So this month, finally, it's like we should have done this sooner, but just taking out the coach related pages and making it a client magazine. So for the March magazine, there will be a coach edition. So look at the top of the page, a coach edition, and then there will be a client edition that takes out all the invites, because I'm like, that's salesy. I don't want to send it to my clients with invites. And it's like, hey, because there's so much good stuff in there, but that's weird. So I haven't sent it to my clients, and I've been banging my head against the wall. I'm like, this is so good. There's so much that the added value in there. There's like links that they can get our favorite things in there. There's the freaking feature article every month makes me cry. Like, it really shows them who we are. So this month for March, Linda's just going to pull out the coach pages. We're going to have a coach edition and a client edition. Go to your online office, you guys. Click on grow your business. Click on send an email, and you can pop the link in there and send it to all your clients. It's going to be freaking so easy, so cool, and just another part where we can add value to their lives. So, okay, I am going to mute between my dog and my child. I'm going to go to the fire station, drop some people off, animals off, and then I'll be back. I'm kidding. I'm just gonna let him out and do my workout while you talk, Tracy.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited, you guys. I'm really excited about, thank you, Susan, for all those ideas. Honestly, this morning when we were talking about it, I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So that's awesome. I'm pumped. All right, guys, I'll just get right into it so we can get on with our days because I know everyone's got momming and busy and work, and I got work, and I'm getting picked up from the dealership. My car's in for some work and whatever. So lots of stuff going on. But so the strategy for this week is all about self-doubt. So I know last week we talked about using the words I can't in our language for excuses. So just about like, like I can't go to the gym because of this. I can't get out of bed because of this. So this week's going to be about self-doubt, more based on like using like I can't with accomplishments. So like I just want to tell you guys mostly know my story with Darren and how that all transpired. Most of you all know. But I'll tell you, just using self-doubt with that example, I remember just feeling, well, first of all, being newly engaged and just coming off like a day from that straight into Darren having his stroke. I was 32. Yeah, 32 years old. And I'm young, and now I'm being faced with this life situation, right? We're not married. Technically, I have no legal rights. And at the time, I was just coming into like my own in terms of like owning my life, being excited in this new adventure, all of these new things planned ahead that I wanted to accomplish. And I was I doubted everything about myself, to be honest. Darren was really the motivator and the pusher for me. So I remember sitting there and his mom and dad basically not looking at me for like, oh, what is she going to do? But that's how I felt. I didn't know what my role was going to look like. And I didn't know if I could even do it. I doubted everything. I was like, I can't do this. How am I supposed to take care of things financially? I had just bought my own home a year before like this all happened. So I was a new homeowner as well. I mean, any of you guys have ever purchased a home or moved or anything like that, that's scary because you're running like finances, figuring everything out. Now I'm having to do that for him, taking care of him in his health with his work, taking care of myself and my work situation and everything. I didn't think I had it in me. I didn't think that I could do this. I actually didn't even think I deserved, like, who am I? Basically, I felt like I had no rights either because I wasn't married. I was technically just his girlfriend, if you want to look at it like that, from an outsider's perspective. But I remember sitting there and I had to contact all of the people at his work and anybody that, had a play into like his situation, right? So I had to contact Ford. He works for Motor Company, and a couple other people. And I had to just step up. His parents didn't have that ability. They didn't have the contact information. So I stepped up and I started doing things. I started kind of like getting the wheels turning. And I was sitting there doing all of this. And I remember saying to his mom in the waiting room, I was like, do you want me to do this? Or do you want to take care of this? I don't have to do anything if you don't want. Like, kind of like trying to remove myself without realizing it. And she said, no, like you go right ahead. Like you can feel free. And I said, I just don't know like what you think I should do or what I'm allowed to do. And I kind of said it like that. And she gave me basically the support verbally, like the saying, like, you are a part of our lives and you are a part of Darren's life and you matter just as much as we do here, and your opinion matters and your voice matters. So having said that, it made me feel a little bit at ease, a little bit. But I just remembered that day very specifically because I went home and I was just like, I prayed and prayed and prayed because I was like, I don't think I can do this. I'm going to start to cry. No, I'm good. I'm good. I just remember thinking like, I'm not capable of even having this responsibility. Like I can't even think of the words to even like tell you and describe the enormity of what I felt in that moment. And I just felt, though, at the same time as feeling that self-doubt, like, I can't do this. I'm not capable. I can't, like, there's no way I can get through this. I remember also thinking, I'm exactly where I have to be and should be. There wasn't a moment that I felt like I wanted to flee. So it was totally different from any of that doubt that I'd felt maybe before with anything else. Like, oh God, I'm just too scared. It wasn't scared. It was doubt. And it was like, I don't know if anything that I'm doing in this moment is the right thing or I'm making the right decisions, but I know I have to try. And I know that he, meaning Darren, he trusts and loves me. So knowing that 100% gave me the belief that, you know what, no matter what, he knows that whatever I am doing, it's going to be in his best interest. He will know that. And I prayed every freaking day. I did. And I just had to believe that, you know what, God, and I wasn't, you guys, in my belief, and I've told Jack this before, like I've been a believer, but I wasn't an active believer. Like I didn't have a relationship with God at that point. I had fallen away from my faith, but it was in those moments and coming across Jack, and you know, I've told you how Jack was brought into my life at this moment of all this happening. It was all God's work. I know that now. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, it's a coincidence. It's a happy accident. No, nothing's a happy accident. I'm sure we know that by now, right? It's all God's work. But it was in that moment where I just started diving deep. I started going to church on my own. I usually go, like now I'm going with my mom every week. It's something that we do, but I would sit there in church in the pew and I would just cry in the back and just pray. I always tell Jack, like, even when she asks me to do an opening prayer, I'm very awkward at praying. I think it's very like odd to me and it's very foreign, and my prayers were very just like, help me. It was literally me just being like, help me. Like, I am so lost and I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I can't leave his side. I knew that I had that pull and that drive to just, he needs me. So no matter what I'm feeling and no matter what I'm doing, it's all for a bigger purpose. And I had to stop thinking about the simple actions and trying to pick apart every decision that I was making, and had to look at the bigger picture, because I had to look at him and like, you know what? It doesn't matter if this was right or wrong, because either way, it was for the greater good of him. And I can't start, you know, analyzing every decision I make. It would drive me nuts. And that's what I started to do. I started to drive myself crazy. And then I wasn't taking care of myself either, because I would obsess about like, oh my gosh, you know, did I ask that nurse this question? Did I make sure I went into here? Did I go into the room and I make sure that I checked in on this time? And it was just one thing after another, after another, after another. And instead of just starting to drive myself crazy, I almost had to just give up control in that way and just let myself just trust that God has it. God has me. God has the plan, and he will take care of me and he will take care of us, and it is all going to work out. And it took a lot. It's still something that it is a struggle. I question everything at times, and then I stop myself because I'm really good at now going, no, don't do that. Like, you're going down that rabbit hole. It's so easy to go down that rabbit hole of doubt. But you guys, like, I don't know. I could never imagine at 32, I'm going to be a caregiver to my husband. Like, that's something I never even thought would be possible. I never thought that I would be capable of taking care of someone in that way. And when Darren and I talked about family and we talked about having a child, it scared the crap out of me. For the longest time, if anyone would have asked you that was in my life, I said I didn't want to have children. That, you know, I was good either way. It would, because my patience level, and I'm a selfish person when it comes to my own time. I love having my own time freedom. And I thought, there's no way you can't be that way when you're a mom, when you have children. And I really feel like this was God showing me my strength and what I am truly capable of with Darren. Because a lot of it is like, and I've asked a lot of you on this call right now who are moms who take care of people, if this is what it's like to be a mom. Because I really feel like sometimes it's like having a child. It's really like having a child with the amount of things that you gotta remind him to do this, remind him to do that, set out notes, set out, what's that?
Having a husband, whether or not he needs caretaking, is like having a child anyway, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm not at all taking away from what you're saying.
No, but it's so, and that's a very good point.
It's a really good point.
But
I was like, no, I mean, I don't have to take care of my husband, but everyone I tell I have 4 boys, and they're like, and your husband? I said, yeah. They're like, oh, 5 boys. And I was like, yeah, like, yes. But yeah,
And you know what, to be honest too, you guys, like a lot of my not frustration, but a lot of what's hard is that Darren wasn't like that before. Like Darren and I are very similar. Like this was his home. Like he worked for it. He'd take care of it. He was a guy that I didn't have to, like, I was very lucky. I know that y'all like, you're lucky. I didn't have to fight with him over laundry, over cooking, over dishes, over crap like that. He just knew because he had to do it on his own, and we worked so well. We literally coincide with each other. You know what? If I'm home in the mornings, I did stuff. If he was home in the mornings, he did stuff. I'd come home and it wouldn't be like, oh, I've got dishes, or oh, I got to do laundry. It wasn't like that. It was not even a thought. And I got so lucky, I know this now, that I didn't have to have that transition where you're living with someone and it's super difficult. So now, again, Darren comes home, and you guys, I was scared as crap. You know what? It was hard when he was in the hospital. Don't get me wrong, because I only had 2 weeks off of work, and I had to go right back to work. I was literally living from work to hospital, and that's what my life consisted of. If I worked in the afternoon, I got up, got dressed, had breakfast, went to the hospital. Spent as much time at the hospital as I could till I had to go to work. Then I went to work, come home, sleep, do it all over again the next day. And that was my life for almost 7 months. He was almost 7 months in the hospital. And he went from one hospital to another different type of hospital, to another different type of hospital that was even further away, that was 2 hours away from me. So that was another transition, because at that transition that he was there for almost 2 months, I didn't have the luxury to go to the hospital, home, and all that. So that was a whole other struggle. And with all that struggle and with all those transitions, the hardest one was him coming home. As much as I wanted him to come home, as much as I wanted him to get better and be able to be better enough to come home. The moment they told me that he was coming home, I thought I was going to throw up. I was like, there's no way. He can't come home yet. He's not well enough to come home. Or what am I going to do? I have to work, and now he's home now. What's that going to look like? So what's my responsibility? Tell me what I need to do to help him. And it was like all these questions. And then it was like, and this is how it felt. Like, you're just going to leave him with me? Like, that was my question. Like, so I'm just going to take him home and that's it. Like, bye? Like, what am I supposed to do with him? Like, how do I take care of him? There's no way. I can't do this. There's no way. Is this what people do? Like, no. There's there's got to be more answers and more help here. And they saw the panic, and what I'm doing now is exactly what I did to a nurse. So, like, this isn't like I was hiding this. This was me. Like, you guys know me. I was like, no. She was like, it's okay. Calm down. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and then it was like, I'm 33. I was like, what? It was crazy. Coming home, I had some help, but like help is limited. You know what I mean? And it's not there forever. I had to suck up my own pride because with all the panic, I also, I didn't want to ask for help, but I knew I needed help. Because even though I was in that flip out mode, it was like at the same breath, I was at odds with myself going, you got this, you can do it on your own. You don't ask for help. You know what? You don't think other people out there have to go through this? Like, you're freaking lucky. You should just be thankful. He's coming home, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was like this constant like fight between myself. I doubt this, I doubt that. I'd say this, I'd say that, and then be like, oh, well, suck it up and just do it. You know what I mean? You can't have best of both worlds, it was almost like, you know what I mean? You can't complain in one breath and then be like, not want to, reach out and ask for help either. And so I was very thankful that I had help and a support system. But that was when the hard part started, him coming home, because everything was like, this was life. It wasn't like that in the hospital, I felt like, okay, things are gonna get better, things are gonna get better, things are gonna get better. And he's not gonna come home until he's perfect, like, so to speak, until he's perfectly well to come home and everything is good. And he's gonna come home and Darren's gonna be Darren. And like, I honestly had a few thoughts, like one day he'll just wake up and he'll be just fine. One day he'll wake up and all the memories will be back. And he's gonna literally wake up and he's gonna go, wow, Trace, what happened those last 6 months? I really thought that would be a conversation I was gonna have. And then he come home and it's not like that at all. It is actually the exact opposite. And that's when the real struggle came. I thought the struggle was juggling everything before while he was in the hospital. That was easy. That was so easy because I didn't have him home with me. I didn't have to worry about somebody. I just got to leave him at the hospital and go about my day and go to work, focus on that, and then come home. And now it was like, no, now it's wake up, have to take care of him, have to make sure that he's got a plan in place for the rest of the day, make sure people are involved in the whole day process. Does everybody know what they have to do? Go to work, shut everything off at home because I got to work and I don't want to kill someone at work because I work at a pharmacy. God forbid, I don't want to screw someone's prescription up and give them the wrong drug because I'm disconnected and I'm focused on what's going on at home. So now I got to shut my brain off, do my job, come home, shut my work brain off so that I can be present at home and pour into Darren and taking care of him and taking care of the household. I literally came home one night and I cried. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to keep on doing this? For how long can I do this? How much longer? Give me the date. Give me the end date of when this was going to stop so I have a goal to focus on and say, I can get to that date. I can get to that month and then I'm good. And there's no end date? What? Pardon me? Excuse me? No. Like, it's been 4 years, December 26th. December 26th last December. It had been 4 years since he had a stroke. And you guys, the only saving grace with me and when I start doubting myself is I look at my progress back. And I look where we've come from. I look at where I've come from. I didn't think that I could get through bringing him home those first 2 months. I didn't think I could establish a routine like I had because it was overwhelming thinking about all of those steps and all those things that you had to implement. And I'm sure just like a new mom, when you don't have a child and you're a new mom and you have that baby, you bring that baby home and you have to go, wow, this is what my life's like with a new routine. How am I going to do this? Bottles, changing, feeding, crying unpredictably, taking them here, taking them there, packing them all up, getting them out the house, getting them in the house, getting them into the store and not knowing if they're going to be unpredictable and they're going to have a tantrum or they're going to scream. That's Darren. It's exactly like Darren. I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. I don't know if he's going to have a freak out. or he's going to say the wrong thing to the person, or he's going to say something stupid. I've told you guys so many stories of the crazy things that he said to like people, and it makes you laugh now, but in the moment I am so mortified, just probably like you new moms are, embarrassed, like is that person judging me? I feel like I wanted to have a sign on my forehead that said, my husband had a stroke, that's why. Like I really just felt like I needed a sign or a t-shirt, because he doesn't look like there's anything wrong. He looks fine. Physically, he looks great. But if you didn't know Darren, you wouldn't know until, for example, we go to Jack's. The kids have never met Darren. Brian and Jack met him a few times. But I mean, to not know him, you would think, this is a little weird. Like, why does he say funny things? Why does he think we live in Tallahassee, Mom? We keep telling him we live in Jacksonville. I don't understand why he keeps saying, oh, it's so beautiful here in Tallahassee. Try explaining that to an 8-year-old. And like, you explain them to them, and you know what? Kids are so forgiving. And you know what? They are so understanding more than we think. And, you know, Darren is thankfully so good with children, and it's a God-saving grace, but
can we insert my favorite memory of Darren? You know what I'm going to tell, that story. This story where Jackson and Darren, so Jackson is my oldest, my 9-year-old, and Darren were playing Madden the whole time. Like, I mean, like heavy deep into Madden. And like, poor Darren, I think he lost like every game by like a lot of points. And so he was starting to get the game. Like, I don't know how to play it. It is a very difficult game if you're not a gamer. I don't know, it's awful. Anyway, Jackson isn't that good, but he thinks he is because no one else knows how to play. So Darren's starting to get the game. He's starting to get frustrated, right? He wakes up, he eats, sleeps, breathes Madden while he's here at our house, okay? And they're like buddies, like Jackson's sitting here, Darren's sitting there. They're like, yeah, I got you, ha ha ha, like in your face. Like now they're trash talking each other. And Darren starts to get like flustered. So then he starts yelling out like swears. I mean, and you guys know me, I swear, right? And so I don't know do you know what he said, Trace? Like, I don't know the exact words, but do you remember?
I can't remember.
It was like something like, you know, like Linda?
He at least one time he told Jackson he was full of shit.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, he's like trash talking.
And that he was crazy.
Yeah, and this is so funny to watch because Jackson and Emmett understand because they've asked me questions about Darren, and just like Tracy said, kids are so forgiving. I personally want more of that in my life, and so they're literally like, oh, Mom, it's okay. We know Darren has a disability. They call him Uncle Darren, and they explain to their friends that he has a little disability, but you wouldn't even know. I'm not joking. That's how they explain.
He looks fine, but he's got a disability.
He's Jackson explained to his friends because they're like, Jackson said, this is my Uncle Darren, you know, but he explains to them because, Mom, I told him he looks fine, so you wouldn't know, but he's got a disability. And I'm like, that's okay. That's, you know, good to know. It's fine, Jackson. But he one time, besides the full of shit, he was like, oh, fucking shit, something really loud. And Jackson goes, Darren, and smacks him, you know, in the arm like you would as an adult. Like, stop it. And Darren's like, oh, fine. And to see this play out, you would think if you're watching this grown man who looks perfectly fine, like, man, control yourself. We're all dying. Because Tracy, you see Tracy die a little bit inside. I'm laughing hysterically because I'm like, and to see Jackson and Darren interact and then Jackson looks at me, he rolls his eyes. He's like, okay. And like, he was caring for him and he'd already forgiven him in the moment. And he had just, there was no
judgment, you know, like kids don't judge.
No judgment, pure forgiveness, pure love, pure joy. And from this man who you look at and you don't see anything wrong with him, just being himself, but being passionate. For me, that was a really big growing point, I think, for Darren, because he became passionate about something that he's, you know, I don't know if he was a gamer before.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, like it came back to him and it was really freaking cool to see. Sorry, that was my side note about
I'm glad. I'm glad that you brought that up because that's exactly where I was going, you know, and it's me and my fear, right? It's my fear, and that we do this all the time, you guys. We do this in everything that we do. When we start to doubt ourselves and we start worrying about what other people think. What is this? Am I even doing? Should I even be doing this? Is this even right for me? The greatest things come from our fears. So when we start to doubt ourselves, stop. Because deep down, you know, you guys, you know that you're on this path for a reason. And that's, I think, what my biggest point in all of this is I couldn't even imagine, I don't even know what the next 4 years are going to bring. I'm excited for it, but it really allowed me to put things into perspective and for me to let go of those reins of doubt and of trying to hold myself back and trying to put myself in a box to tell myself what I think I'm capable of or what I'm not capable of. Because we are all capable of huge things in life, bigger than we even can even imagine. The thing that you think that you cannot do it. Honestly, the scariest freaking thing, we say it all the time in our business. We say, oh, I can't be a coach. There's no way. I can't start a business from scratch. There's no way I can be my own CEO or of anything. There's no way that, I can sell a challenge pack. We start doubting ourselves because I can't sell something. I can't do this. To stop ourselves from accomplishing things that we are more than capable of being able to do. But we let fear and doubt and everything else come into play and stop us and prevent us. Instead of trusting ourselves and taking a chance with the fact that, you know what, it's okay if it doesn't work out perfectly, because nothing's perfect. Nothing is. Life's not perfect. And that's what I had to stop, telling myself it needs to look like X, Y, and Z. This is what it's got to look like, because this is what I see this other person doing. And this is what I see that person doing. And this is what I see Jack doing with her children and Louise doing with her kids. And that's what it should look like. But no one's life looks the same. Louise's life does not look the same as Jack's life, doesn't look the same as Bridget's or Sue's or Linda's. And we all have something in common. Every single one of us here. We can all take my story and it could be any one of your stories. And I think that that's what helped me with all of you and being on this tribe, was that being alone and not feeling like I was alone, this had a whole other meaning, being a part of this. Being a part of this tribe gave me a whole sense of feeling like I wasn't alone, more so than having my support system that I do here every day. It allowed me to feel like the struggles that I was feeling, someone else felt that, went through that, is going through that in their own way too. And I had someone that I could lean in and lean on with. And I never had that before. And you know what? Admitting that I had doubt was just as hard as well. Admitting that I had an issue and that I had a problem, doubt, I don't really think, because the minute you do that, I felt it allowed other people to reiterate that for yourself. You know what? I don't know if I can do this. You know what? It's okay if you can't. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you shouldn't do it. And I was like, but no. And it made me, I had people in my life do that. And they're no longer in my life because they couldn't understand. Ask me, are you going to stay? Why? Why would you stay? I mean, you didn't, why would you stay? You would have every reason to leave. And it really made me think, are you freaking kidding me? I didn't get engaged to a man that I loved because I thought things wouldn't be hard. I just didn't know what that hard meant. I didn't expect it the day one, but I mean, there was a reason apparently that I needed to go through this now in our lives, just to show I am a freaking strong person. I am so capable of incredible things that I never thought I was capable of doing. And I can say that, and it literally makes me feel so powerful that I could do anything. Today's going to be a freaking great day because I'm saying all of these amazing things about myself, and I'm telling you guys this, and I'm opening up, and I honestly feel like I am I'm a, what do you call it, superhero. You're like Captain America. Does anyone want to chime in? I haven't even read the chats. There's a lot going on in the chats. I did not read anything because I was so in my own world. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kim. And no one. Does anyone want to share anything? That's a weird sort of segue into asking you to share, but.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what you want me to share.
Like, share about what, I don't know, this wasn't even part of the call. I think we're even almost done the call, aren't we?
What's my strategy? What do you need from me? I loved your story. What am I supposed to do? I need a step.
I don't have, what's your call to action?
I don't know. What's my strategy?
What's your strategy? Yeah, that's, Linda, this is your opportunity to chime in with the outgoing strategy. I did not come prepared with the strategy.
You know, I need my self-doubt, you need a name for it, and then I use it the whole week long.
I know, you're absolutely right.
I love using it all week long, and then I come back and say, did you know how that worked? And I act like I'm the first person in history to try the strategy
out. I'm struggling with a lot of self-doubt today. And as I was listening to Tracy, I was reminding myself of the strategy that I use, which, I ask myself a lot, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Did I teach a good yoga class today? Or did I, am I good enough at being a mom? Or, all of those things. And I also struggle with, no, I'm not good enough. I didn't teach a good class today, or I wasn't a good mom today, or all of those things. So when I catch myself doing that, I do transition it to the question, am I? And that's like my signal. And as soon as I catch that signal, I turn it around as, you know what? I am a good mom. I am a good yoga teacher. I am a good mom. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It matters what I think. And, sometimes it works and sometimes it only half works, but overall it works.
So the strategy would be the minute you hear, am I, you flip it to I am.
Mm-hmm. Or, it's like a 3-part process. It's like, okay, I really suck today. I didn't teach a good class. Like last night, I fucking hated my yoga class. And I left there, so I felt like crap. And I was like, you know what? I really sucked as a teacher last night. And as soon as I do that, I was like, all right, well, did I teach a good yoga class, or am I a good yoga teacher? I turn it into a question. And then that question is the signal, you know what? I am a good teacher. Fuck everybody else. I am a good teacher. It's my strategy.
Well, Linda, also I was thinking, I can't remember like the whole thing, but we talked about on a call about how like the perception between what is fact and what is just opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of it, our self-doubt is just the opinion of ourselves. But when we really reflect and put it into perspective, it's like, okay, no, am I just thinking this about myself, or let's put the facts into place? No, I am a mom, and I might not be perfect, but I am a mom, and I work my ass off. So that means I am a good mom. And it's like, we have to also just really, like line up the facts from what our perception is of ourselves for that day, because that changes every day. I know, like, every day is different for me. Like I have good days and I have bad days. Some days I'm so drowning in my own self-doubt, and then it's like other days I'm like, no, I have it together. I'm focused, and I realize I'm like, no, that is just a shitty perception and the devil in my head, and I need to recognize the facts about who I am, what I've done, what you're capable of. So yeah, so that's my piece. That's my 2 cents.
I like that. I mean, I get that. And I like being able to ask myself that question.
And it is. Thank you, Liz, for that reminder, because it's something that obviously that's part of it too, is I look at my own facts, to help me get back in that mindset that, I am good enough. And I'm struggling right now with, okay, am I being a good mom? And coming back to, what, I am a good mom. And I am a good mom because my oldest 2 kids are together right now, and they would love nothing more than for me to be there. And you know what? That's a sign of a good mom. And so they're bugging the shit out of me. And that's freaking awesome. It's sad, but it's awesome, because, okay, I don't know about you guys, but when I was 28 and 29, the last thing I wanted to do was be hanging out and having fun with my mom, because she was not fun at all. My kids always want me around. So thank you, Liz, for that reminder.
That's awesome. I was going to say too that a lot of times I have to remind myself that even when things don't go as I planned or I expected, That's just my own expectation. And for example, sometimes leading calls, sometimes I get off a call and I'm like, oh man, that was not what I was planning to do. And then I get like 5 messages like, that was the greatest call ever. Like, I so needed that. And so sometimes we have to just take ourselves out of that own perception that we have and remind ourselves that there was a purpose for that and it touched the people that it needed to touch. So like for Linda's class, maybe it wasn't her favorite class that she taught, but the people that were in it, I guarantee at least one of those people, that was exactly what they needed.
That's a really good point. That is a really good point. We have no idea. Go ahead, Louise.
No, I was just going to say that we need to look for the evidence as well, right? Because we can always get in our heads and be like, oh my God, like, you know, I did X, Y, and Z today. But when I
like that, I always look for the evidence. Like, so, okay, so I think that, you know, for example, I didn't teach a very good yoga class, but what is the evidence for that? Did people walk out? Like, was it so bad that like people came to me afterwards and asked me not to teach again? Not that I teach yoga, but you know, example.
People are afraid to walk out of my class. That will never happen.
It's really easy to just see ourselves from a negative point of view and forget what, you know, actually is happening. You know what I mean?
I like that. Look at the evidence.
There's my strategy. I needed something I haven't tried before. Look at the evidence. Because all this makes sense, but I need a different term so I can retrain my brain. Because, you know, like Linda and I had a meeting this morning with Emily, and it's like when you do the same thing over and over and you prove to yourself that you can do it, it's like, okay, that's cool, but I can do it, so I'm going to do it a little less because now I know I can do it. And then I'm going to do it a little less, like my fitness, you know. Well, where's the evidence that even looking at my body, like guys, my body has dramatically changed, and I know everyone's like, oh, you look great. Okay, thank you. I know I look great. Okay, but that's not the point. In the last 6 months, my body's dramatically changed from where I was at my peak, and I felt strong, and I like really looked at my pictures and was like, wow, I look good. Now I'm convincing myself I look good because I had to take a break, and now honestly I've gotten lazy and I eat like shit. Like, no, that's the evidence, right? Like when I look at it, that's the evidence. I need the evidence to make the change if a change is needed, or to shock me back to, you know what, you're good. If I am working hard and I am doing what I need to do and I am being a good mom and I'm doing the best damn job I can, then yes, the evidence says I'm nailing it. But if my evidence says that I've eaten 2-minute cookies, then I need to make a change. And I think that's really where I love that word, because there is a trail, a breadcrumb leading up to what is happening right now. And we have to trace that bread trail back and say like, oh, this is why my business isn't working because I haven't been working. Like, oh, this is why my results aren't as good as they once were, or I never got to where I want to because what I say I'm doing or what I think I'm doing isn't actually what I'm doing. Like, you know, like I don't like bar, so I haven't been doing bar, so I stopped working out. Literally, that was me for a week. And then Louise confessed to me and I was like, you caught me, leave me alone. Why are we not in this by ourselves? Because I would have just fallen off the radar. But no, we came up with a new game plan because the evidence was saying that I wasn't doing what I needed to be doing to say, I am good at working out and fueling my body because I'm not doing it right now. I know I can't.
I wanted to quit. I was like, I am quitting bar, fucking hate bar, blah, blah, blah.
You came
Jack's
with her
like,
British.
no, you're not. I was like, oh, I just want to quit.
She literally came with her British finger. This is the British finger, by the way, if you don't know. I can see her. And it was just via text. She didn't do that. She didn't show me. I heard it via text, the words, and I could see her going like this to me. And I was like, no, we're not quitting. We're proving to ourselves this. We're proving to ourselves that we can do what we said we're going to do, so we build our confidence up, even if we have that marathon and do it for a whole day and just be done with the whole freaking program. I don't care. We're doing it. So I love that. The evidence, lining it up, looking at the breadcrumbs. Now I have my strategy, ladies. Thank you, all of you combined in a little ball. The evidence. Sounds like a murder scene. Saying. So Trace, I mean, I can hand it back over to you. I'll be done.
No, we're good. I think that's it, you guys. I mean, does anyone want to close out with a prayer? I am working on it, okay? So no, I'm working on it. I am working on it. I promise the next time I'm on a call.
Okay, but wait, so where's a better place to work on it but right here with everybody who doesn't give a shit and don't judge you?
Tracy, you knew that was coming.
Tracy, I can tell you that you're probably having a hard time because you think you're praying for everybody else. If you just shut your eyes and say out loud what you normally say to God, it's a totally different experience.
And I told you I don't pray.
No, and honestly, I don't know.
Bitch, you told me you pray every day.
Yeah, you
I
pray
do,
all the
but
time. Now you lying. This is weird.
now we're talking about it so much and it's making it worse.
So, Trace, close your eyes and let God pray through you. Your words don't matter. No offense, but Tracy's words don't matter when you pray. Let God speak. Close your eyes, close your mouth.
Right, okay. Everybody, let's pray. Everybody bow your heads. Do the sign of the cross. All right. Dear God, please be with all of us today. It's Friday. Thank goodness. It's been a heck of a long week, and I cannot wait for the weekend. But just thank you for this tribe. Thank you for these ladies. Thanks for just bringing each one of them into my life, into each other's lives, being able to lean into them with struggles, being able to share these really hard, difficult stories with them, trusting that above all else, you are with us every step of the way. Be with us for the rest of the day, each and every one of us who aren't feeling well. For Nikita, she's not feeling well, who had a migraine. With everyone struggling with children, with daily things, getting from point A to point B. Just thank you. Thank you for just allowing us an opportunity and a platform to do your work, to be the best people that we can be. And thanks for the sun, because the sun's shining today and it has been crappy the last few days. So thank you for some brightness in our day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Perfect.
Rocked it.
That was perfect.
And prayers for Nancy and her babies. I don't know if she had the babies yet.
I know.
I'm like baby watch. Like I feel kind of creepy because I'm like, oh, if Nancy had her babies, but I'm trying to like tame down my ovaries, so I just like have to watch other people have babies. So prayers for Nancy and her babies.
Just yesterday, I said someone brought in a little baby, like one of our coworkers who's off, and I was like, oh, my ovaries are aching. And they were looking at me. I'm like, because I want a baby so bad.
But you know, I have 4 children. I've offered them up. I mean, literally, I have extras. You can have them.
You know when you say you're hungry when you see food and you go get in my belly? I was like, oh, I want that baby in my belly. You're like, that's weird. Don't say that.
My husband's like, you hate being pregnant, and like he's like sometimes our kids drive you nuts. Why do you want another? I'm like, because I miss the teeny tiny baby stage. I'm like, just stop, okay? And like all my friends need to get pregnant and hurry up and have babies because I'm like, I need a baby to just hold and hoard for like 2 hours and love.
Yes, I love you guys, and I'll pray that for you as well.
Thank you.
All right, love you guys.
Enough for me.
Thank you, Tracy, for leading.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great day.
Bye.
Did anyone get a picture?
I did a story. Bye.